Hi there. Hey, we are going to draw some teeth. As you can see, this guy has a big old smile, and we'll do those or something close to it, get you the process. First thing you want to think about is making sure that you get the surrounding features in there with the grid. Okay, I'm going to work on something else because I'm not going to take the extra time to make my teeth look exactly like this. But the process that I show you along with using the grid will help you make some nice teeth. Okay, so I actually traced those lips. Okay, so I'm going to try to work in the same way, and you need to know that I am going to do my best to get it about right, but if I did every single detail, this video would take too long. But this video is out the process. There's 4 steps, and I have them noted right over here. Okay, there's 4 steps. So with the grid, you are going to make a mouthpiece. Okay, and what that mouthpiece is you can think of it as a football mouthpiece. And I am going to just look at those teeth. I'm doing this freehand. You should use, like I said, use the grid to help you place where this mouthpiece is. But I'm trying to do this pretty fast. Now, if you look at these teeth, let me show you this. They're not flat. If I put a flat piece of paper right there, look how the teeth go up, and there's negative space underneath the teeth. Okay, so they're not flat. So you can see how the center teeth, and then it goes up, and then it goes up. And the teeth really never go all the way to the corner of the mouth. So watch how they stop short, and watch out how they might kind of have a little angle right there. So that's the first thing. The second thing is spacing. And again, with the grid that you have, let that help you. But I'm not going to do it just for the sake of time. Always start in the middle. Whoop, that one's a little too small, so I'm going to bring it over here. Always start in the middle, and the grid will help you place them. And as teeth go out farther, they tend to have, some of them have a kind of an angle. So this next one over here isn't as big as the front tooth. That one's kind of going straight up and down. The next one starts to really have more of an angle, and as they go farther back in the mouth, they overlap each other, so they appear skinnier, okay, because they're overlapping each other. So I'll just plug these in over here. So that first one is kind of flat, then that pointy one, the canine tooth right there, starts to go in at a slight angle, and then there are a couple more that get smaller. Okay, so let's say that's just right according to the grid. Then I do the shapes. Okay, and most of that is done down at the bottom. You can, because now this guy's teeth, they kind of go up in the middle just a little bit. And some people will have a space. The next tooth on this side goes up, and then it is kind of rounded. The 2 middle teeth are generally a little more flat. Let's get rid of that thick line right there. The next tooth is starting to have a little bit of more of a point, and there's kind of a curl right up there. I might even go away from my original line a little bit. This next tooth gets more pointed, a little more pointed, and this next tooth is a little more flat because I think it's turning into a molar. Whoop, wrong angle right there. So over here, I'm just going to kind of copy the other side just for speed, just so you kind of see how it works. Okay, then if you want to, you can start getting rid of your little outlines. Then what you do is the gums. I think of it as an umbrella. Okay, I call them my umbrella tips. Now, honestly, I think my teeth that I drew are a little bit too short. But for this video, it doesn't matter. I'm just showing you the process. Okay, so I can see the entire gum here. Sometimes the top lip covers the gum. Then the gums as it goes back into the mouth are not always even. Sometimes this angle right here is different from that one right over here. Now okay, let's do that same kind of thing over here. So now that looks like a decent set of teeth, and I'm not trying to again make it look just like that, but that's the process. And you can do the exact same thing with the bottom teeth. And they kind of disappear, and you're going to have, these are smaller, and again I'm just going to kind of make these up just so this doesn't last long. We space them out, and we start to chisel them or sculpt them or shape them. And these might be a little bit more pointy, and again I'm not really looking at my photo, I'm just kind of going with the process. Sometimes you can see a little, if this really big smile, sometimes you only see the tips of the gums right there. Maybe back here you don't anymore. All right, so that's how you can do the teeth. It's really a good process. I would write those 4 steps down possibly. Now this guy had a really big open mouth teeth. A lot of times, let's get rid of that guy. A lot of times your smile isn't quite so big, and I don't have a reference for this, so I'm just going to give you some general, and sometimes the bottom of the teeth get covered up by the bottom lip, but again, if you just think of it, or if you're making up a mouth, this is a good way to go. So a little smaller, and they overlap, a little smaller, and they overlap. We can chisel the bottom of the teeth. Here, this one's a little more pointy maybe, and that one's a little more pointy, and they get a little bit more flat back there. Then we have maybe not quite as much of a gum, maybe just the tips of the gum. See, I just made these up, and they're looking, fairly natural. They're not perfect, not claiming perfection, but that's a good process. What you want to avoid, do not, I'm just going to draw the inside of a mouth. Well, here's the lips, really ugly lips. Don't start from one side of the mouth and work your way across. That is always going to look really, really sorry. Okay? So start in the middle and work your way out when you start to do the spacing and the like the sculpting of the top and bottom. Now, typically, you'll notice that the corners of the mouth get pretty dark and the teeth get darker as they go into the mouth. I'm not shading it well, I'm just kind of showing you what to look for. And the front teeth are a little bit brighter because those teeth go into the cave of the mouth. They go deep into there. Sometimes you might even see a shadow of the top lip that kind of run across the front teeth. So you will need to do some shading on the teeth as well. Hopefully that helped. Remember those 4 steps: the mouthpiece, the spacing, the shapes of the bottoms, and then our umbrella tip gums at the top, and you will be in pretty good shape. There you go.